All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash, my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder Heroin as well. Salutations to the argument of pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, now Chanak Sa'am by Yashar Allah from the Lions and the Yashar Allah camp. And this is another Lions and News and Prophecy. And this is one that's kind of deep, man. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to serve its purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right, yeah, we got a lot of things uh going on, and Apostle Tahar coined 2024 to be the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and we're so close to it to where it could be within the next. It could take a couple years, but it also could take a couple days too. Because with the way the things that are going on in the economy and how all these wars are screwing up all over the place and this sedition among men and the things that are happening on the earth, right? It's like we're right there. Um, our salvation is right there, man. You have all these things. You have the super moon. Um, the elder also spoke about last Saturday, talking about a nova that's supposed to happen, meaning a explosion of a star. And we're supposed to be able to witness all these things. We have, Saturn passing through the pathway on the moon, Venus, we could be seeing comets, so many things, solar flares, so many things that are happening on the Earth right now. Not even just on the Earth; these are happening in the Shemayim, like out in space. So many things that are happening right now that, like, you know what I'm saying, it can only mean one thing, especially the way it's happening, because the war part of it is already set in place. And the last thing that really needs to happen before we get to our salvation is Jacob's trouble, right? And what is Jacob's trouble? What's going to be happening with Jacob's trouble? The hour of temptation, the Mot B, the micro C hip. All right. The what is it? The CDCD or CD Central CBD Central Bank. Oh goodness. Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. Right. And what is that? All that with the blockchain and the CBDC. What is that going to lead to? What is that? What is that bringing forth? The Revelation 13:16, man. The MOTB. And with the way that things are going on in the economy, nobody's really paying attention to that, but the men of the Lord. Um, they're so focused on. I mean, these wars are big things, but like the fact that what's going on with the wars and stuff like that, what's going on with Diddy, all these things are taking the people's mind off of what's happening in the global economy. All right, and I found this article came through my news feed on this news app that I use, and it says America is entering a new economic super cycle. Right, so I was like, damn, what does that mean, a super cycle? Right, so I read it a little bit, and it's basically just going into, like, um, stuff is gonna get bad, right, and it's gonna have to flip over and switch to a new way, a new form of currency, and all that's going to be digital. That's what everything's being set up for, man. All right. So let's go into this article. It says no one's going to sound an alarm, blast a text message, or shoot you an email about it. But the U.S. economy is undergoing a historic shift. We are leaving one period of expansion, what economists refer as a super cycle, and entering into a very different one. And what is that very different one? Digital currency, man. You see that? The Lord is setting it up for the RFID, you know what I'm saying, micro C hip to be pushed among the masses. And that's the point where we're gonna have to declare whose side that you're on. And the ones that are for Yahweh Bashim Al Shai are going to be taken care of. Their faith is going to bring us through. Our faith is going to bring us through. All right. It says over the past 15 years, the economy has been criticized by weak demand and low interest rates and decayed and a half of hangover from the Great Recession. Now experts tell me that is coming to an end. The world has changed and we are entering into an era of higher growth, creeping inflations, and geopolitical instability that will reroute the flow of money around the world. A new era has arrived, but it is going to be bumpy, right? That new era is a new world order, man. The old world order was dealing with the dollar. Was dealing with the dollar. As a matter of fact, all right, hold on, let me see where my point was. Okay, right. As a matter of fact, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, it says the good news is that this new era looks as if it will be uncommemorated by some of the problems that put a ceiling on growth during the previous era. Right. They're trying to say a new fix, a new way. They did the same thing with the dollar, introducing the dollar. Now this digital form, see the pattern? The most silent feature of the old world order, economists say was the risk of deflation. The possibility of lack of demand would cause wages and prices to spiral downward, a trap that is extremely difficult to escape. In an effort to avoid the fate, policymakers in Washington pushed interest rates down to zero to encourage any kinds of risky behavior among investors, businesses, and everyday consumers. Investors tried to reach their benchmark had to creep out on the risk spectrum. Josh Hirsch, a senior economist of Vanguard, tells me, um, super cheap debt, he says, made it easy for businesses to overexpand and overhire. The pro-risk environment had some earth-shifting consequences. Silicon Valley put the internet on our phones. China blew a massive bubble in its property market, and the world started investing in renewable energy. But low interest rates did little to boost demand, and the economy consequently grew slower than it did before the crash. Never notched above 3.3% GDP growth. It was only after the massive government stimulus spurred by the pandemic that the economy reached escape velocity, pushing up wages and starting to grow at a healthy clip. Well, what is that doing? That's increasing the bubble, expanding the bubble by putting out those stimuluses. Yeah, people have more money to spend, but you had to print more money. It wasn't money was circulating. You had to print more money, so that inflated. That's what brought forth hyperinflation, and we're seeing the effects of the stimulus checks, those stimulus that we're doing that we were receiving during the pandemic, right now, right? And inflation is going to continue to increase. It says now economists say we're entering in a super cycle that will be characterized by three sweeping forces. First, higher interest rates will reward savers, making it more expensive to take risks. Second, geopolitical and economic volatility will generate inflationary, gosh, inflationary effects, reintroducing the specter of soaring prices. And third, industrial planning will be increasingly influenced by national security concerns, altering supply chains across industries. How low interest rates wind up settling will establish a new gravitational pull on global markets, recollaborating the forces that determine where the economy is most likely to grow and where investments is most likely to flow. All right, it's pretty long. Mm. So basically, what's happening is um we're entering into a new era, right, of monetary system, and it's like the global economy has been forced into that new era. I'm gonna put this link in the to this article in the description box so you guys can read the rest. But but yeah, so now this is what we're witnessing happening. But all these things had to happen, right, in order for us to reap salvation. So now let's going into the old money system, right? All right. So now, so what we're witnessing happening is um out with the old, in with the new. They're setting up their new world order, man. All right. But before they can go and fill their belly, the Lord is gonna make rain, and they're not gonna be able to escape it, man. So the Lord is setting them up to their own demise. That's why it says sit down and matter of fact, let me get it. James 5:1 before I go to this. Everything that they're setting up shall be a witness against them, man. All right, this is James chapter 5, verse 1. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. Right. They got holes all in their garments and the riches are corrupted. That's how they're corrupting the whole world with the dollar. Right. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped up treasures for the last days. They're trying to switch over to this new monetary system to continue to heap up treasures. But the Lord is putting a halt to it. All right? The Lord is putting a halt to it. Why? It says, because behold, the hires of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which you have kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them have reaped into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, right? The Lord of armies. Right? So the Lord is bringing war to these other nations, and the top nation that he's bringing a war to is America. In Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great. And you know, the Lord is using Esau to set the theme or set the tone for future prophecy. All right. So going back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, it says, and he gave power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and caused that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's talking about, that image is talking about this system. All right. In order to operate in the system, you got to do it according to the money. So they're going to tie the money to the people. That's why it has to be placed in the person, just like how the C-hip is placed in your phone, or the C-hip is placed on your card, right? The C-hip is going to be placed in the individual, to where like you become like how the Apostle Tahar said, the internet of all things. You become connected to that grid, to that image, to the system. It's all about tying you to the system, man. All right. It says, verse 16, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their hand or in their foreheads. All right. So either way it goes. All right. So they're talking about physically putting this into individuals, into human beings. All right. But Yahweh Shema Shai has something different. So Revelation 2 and 9, no, 3 and 10. Slacker, if I'm not mistaken. All right, it's Revelation 3 and 10, but this is for the elect right here. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that hour of temptation is talking about the MOTB, man, which is the micro C hip. All right. So this is what these devils are setting up and gonna force upon the people. And only the elect are gonna get deliverance from that, man. So we got to make sure we stay sealed in the mindset of Yahweh Shem Shai, understanding his ways and following behind these prophecies. So when we see these things come to pass, or that we spoke of before, that should also increase and boost our faith, man. All right. Lord, want us lesson to edify and serve the purpose with that, like say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakak Badash, my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone of my elder here, one as well. Salutations to the Akim and pushing the truth to sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men and women and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.